Well, it's the end of the season, and there's no trophy to show for it. All the talk of celebrating, all the talk of having a great stream to look forward to after the final is up in smoke. And it's the worst way to lose. It's the worst way to lose, honestly. I've got no anger, to be honest. I've got no real anger towards the situation. It's just a bad way to lose. And probably over the whole game, we didn't deserve to win that. In terms of the 120 minutes, I don't think we deserved to win that game. We had some decent chances, but to only have 3 shots on target in the whole game, you've got to ask questions. You've got to ask major questions. It's devastating, man. It's devastating. RB Comps, thanks for joining. He says, gotta give props to Villarreal. Listen, I'll give props to Villarreal. They won their first ever European final. Their first ever European final, by the way. Unai Emery came into Villarreal, brought them to their first European final, and beat Manchester United in that European final. And I was talking about it. I was talking about it before the game. I was saying, this guy has got pedigree in this tournament. He knows how to win these games. And not only were the Villarreal players more motivated, but it looked like the Villarreal fans were more motivated. When I was watching the game, they were the loudest. They were the ones cheering on their team the most. But I think mainly we lost that game through tactical decision making. And this is the one thing that does worry me. Listen, I was never going to beat Ollie out after, even if we'd lost this game. And we obviously have. We've not won the Europa League. And I was never going to turn on Ollie. But I have to say, some of his decision making in this game was abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. And well, we'll go through it. Owen, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Anyone else feel like as soon as it got to 78 minutes, we stopped playing? It did feel like that a little bit. Dazza, thanks for joining. Says, get stuff, David De Gea, useless piece of garbage. Listen, you can't be blaming David De Gea. I mean, I understand that he missed the penalty, but in the end of the day, it's not his job to score the pen. The fact that he even got to that point is indicative of the way the outfield players played. In the 90 minutes, I thought De Gea had a pretty sound game. I mean, potentially for that first goal, you could argue he could have done better. Obviously I didn't see like the behind angle, so I can't see whether De Gea should have done better. But it's yeah. I don't think you can blame. I think there's going to be some people blaming De Gea, saying he's shit, but what is he meant to do? He's not a regular penalty taker. He's not a regular. The reason why he's not a regular penalty taker is because he shouldn't have to take penalties. And somehow, I mean, credit to Villarreal, their penalties were unbelievable. 11, every single player on that pitch scored a penalty. Every single player, imagine that. And in some ways, it's a fitting way to win a penalty shootout. All of your players together, scoring every single penalty. David De Gea, he got close to about one of them, and that was it. Every other one was, he went the wrong way, or the penalty was just too good. You have to give him credit for those penalties, man. It says that goal was a fluke, and we didn't even kick it out after that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the annoying thing, is if you look at where their goal came from, it came from some sloppy play. From first, David De Gea trying to clear it and then clearing it badly. Then Pogba got the ball back. He cleared the ball into someone. And then Cavani went back and gave the foul away. And if we just played that right, if we just had a decent quality of passing there, we scraped that Europa League 1-0. And really, if we could defend set pieces, we would have done. We would have come out of there with a scraped 1-0 victory. And I would have ran with that all the way to the bank. As it is now, it wasn't to be. Mr. Josh, he says he's absolutely heartbroken. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer left it too late to make subs. I'm not Ollie out, but massive questions need to be asked. I think that sums my view up, mate. That really does sum my view up, mate. Box, thanks for joining as well. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Obviously, if you're an United fan, it's difficult to do well right now. Especially, I've just been reminded of it as well. 5 years now. 5 seasons without a trophy for Manchester United. There's one thing, going without Premier League titles. And, we're coming up now on, we're creeping up to a decade without a Premier League title. I think it's a few more seasons, and then we've been a decade without a Premier League title. And that's shit in itself. But to not even win a trophy in that time. Arsenal have won so many more trophies in that time. Like Arsenal, even though they're absolute dog shit, they still managed to win trophies. And it's a shame. It really is a shame that we didn't win that. Owen says Rashford is shouted in his pocket by Juan Bloody Foyth. Yeah, I know. Rashford had a stinker. An absolute stinker. Probably one of his worst games in a Man United shirt for me. His final ball was off. Nothing he did came off. Literally nothing he did came off in that game. I think Maguire not playing was huge. Wonder who lost his man for the goal. P.S. It wasn't Maguire. Well, he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing really. Matthew says, people will blame De Gea, but we shouldn't be relying on our goalkeeper to score a penalty. Why didn't we have more than 2 shots on target in the whole game? That's a fair point. Definitely a fair point. Box says, time for a new manager. Listen, for me, as I said, I was never going to turn on Solskjaer, even if we lost this game, because I feel like we have still made progress. But there is something worrying about how in these big moments, we tend to go missing a little bit. The only players I'll give credit to today was probably Edinson Cavani for his goal. I thought Mason Greenwood played alright. And apart from that, slim pickings. Really slim pickings, to be honest. Really slim pickings. Daz says, I'm going off social till Friday. Bye. Well, cheers for joining if you're leaving, Daz. Appreciate it. Make sure to check out his channel as well. But yeah, probably a good idea, to be honest. But I mean, in the end of the day, it's football. It's, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But I think losing on penalties is it's devastating, really. It's devastating. Savake says, De Gea for me, it's dead. So you're saying get rid of De Gea, but I mean, again, I'm not sure if you're saying that to be fair. I should be fair, but I don't. Again, we shouldn't really be blaming David De Gea for this. Like, it's not his fault that we lost this game. Overall, yeah, obviously he missed a penalty, and always the guy that misses the penalty is the guy that goes down in history. John Terry in the Champions League final slipping, he's the guy that goes down in history. You look at all the penalty misses, they're the ones that everyone goes, oh, he missed a penalty and we lost. But actually, we should have won that game in normal time. Defensively, we weren't good enough in terms of defending the set piece, and then actually attacking, like our final ball was poor, and then towards the end, we almost settled for penalties a little bit. There was no real urgency in our play to actually score. There was no kind of, taking risks, throwing everyone forward. There was none of that, really. It was just, okay, we'll play this out. We're not going to change anything. Ollie didn't make any subs either, which didn't help. That really didn't, that really didn't help the situation. We needed a boost of intensity and no changes. Those guys were dead on their feet. Absolutely dead on their feet. Man says, I was convinced Shaw was going to miss by a look on his face. Miracle that he scored. I know. To be fair, when Rui kind of messed that up, I was thinking, maybe we've got this. Maybe Rui's shaky here. But Box says, the proof's in the pudding is Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. That's true. Listen, you have to address that. Because 5 years without a trophy now. 5 years without a trophy. Syod FIFA, thank you for joining, appreciate it. I do remember you, mate. I do remember you. He says, I'm Chelsea fan who told you good luck in the Europa League. Well, thanks for that. Didn't help in the end. But I mean, cheers for joining, mate. Appreciate it. Omar, thanks for joining as well. So Jose Mourinho finished in second place, won the Europa League, Super Cup of England, and the English Cup. all with this shit team, and a cancer called Pogba. Is he special or not? He said that doing that was his best achievement in football. In some ways, you can't really debate that. I know a lot of people laugh at him saying it isn't his biggest achievement, but it's not exactly going according to plan. Football Crucial, thanks for joining as well. So in my opinion, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is finished, and David De Gea, Ole out. I know a lot of people are going to turn to that because, you know, when you miss out on a final and really lose a final that you shouldn't have lost, because we went into that final as favourites. Let's make no mistake about that. We went into that final as favourites. So to lose that final, it's even more going. I mean, if it was a bit of a David versus Goliath type thing where we didn't expect to win anyway, we probably wouldn't be that disappointed. But right now, obviously, we're gutted. And I understand people's frustrations, but I think in terms of saying we need to get rid of Ole, even though we've had this is a big setback, this is a very big setback, but even though we've lost this trophy and Ole has failed to go over the line, we can't just rip up the playbook. We can't just rip up all the progress that we've made in the last 2 or 3 seasons. Because we were sitting here before the final and saying that Ole's made progress, Ole's done this, Ole's done that. So to sack Ole would just be insane. It's insanity. But I see people's frustrations. I do see people's frustrations. Yeah, we won't be getting a trophy. Yeah, that's how it works. He also says Ole made the worst decision of all Man United games. I don't really... Yeah. The subs thing. And again, it's something that we've got on Ole's back, like midway through the season. The fact that, the one thing he needs to improve is the use of subs. And we thought he cracked it. But when I saw Marcus Rashford, who wasn't having a great game, stay on the pitch, and Mason Greenwood came off, that's when alarm bells started ringing for me. I don't understand how Marcus Rashford stayed on that football pitch and Mason Greenwood went off. I don't understand how, when you looked at that 90-minute performance, you decide to take Greenwood off, who, yeah, obviously he didn't have any shots or anything, but he actually had the beating of that fullback. There was a couple of times in that first half where he just ghosted past that guy. But we take off Mason Greenwood. Marcus Rashford stays on the pitch. I'm tired. Matthew says, if we start next season poorly, I think a lot of people get on Ole's back. Yeah, I agree. TTX is shocking disgrace from Rashford, De Gea and Ole. I think all three of them... Well, I think a lot of people are going to blame De Gea for the poor penalty, and it was a poor penalty, but he's a goalkeeper. And then also, to be fair to Villarreal's penalties, they were a great set of penalties. So, I'm not going to blame David De Gea too much. Yes, potentially for some of the penalties he could have got closer, but in the end of the day, the fact it got to a penalty shootout in the first place is what we should be looking at here. Box says the proof's in the pudding will start next season. If we have lost to a side like Palace again, 3-1 at home on the first day of the season, then lose at home to putrid Spurs Arsenal, Ole will be gone. I think he's gonna be close. Oh, I took another L by thinking I could order Domino's after the game, but it turns out they closed at 11. That's shocking from you, to be fair. Yeah, obviously, on weeknights they close at 11. TTX says, we will never win a trophy under Ole, simple as that. The players will not play their hearts out for this manager again. I don't know if I agree with that, to be honest. Like, I feel like... I mean, we got close. Literally, if it takes one bad penalty from Villarreal and all of a sudden we're saying, we bumbled our way through, but we got through and Ole's lifting the trophy. So, we did get close. But it's not good enough. Owen says Mason Greenwood should leave and go to Real Madrid, reach potential and win the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, I don't know. Matthew says, to be fair, if it hadn't gone to pens, you would have been alright, Owen. Yeah, he actually would have been, actually. Owen says, De Gea slander is madness, and I'm the most inclined to join, but I can't fault him, really. That's true. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you'd be hopping on the bandwagon. I mean, to be fair, Dean Henderson, do you reckon Dean Henderson would have saved some of those pens? Answer on a postcard. Matthew says, can we please get rid of Lindelof? I'll pay to get rid of him just to get rid of him. Please, he's going to be the death of me. He scored a great pen, so that he's staying. He scored a great pen. Sayod says, wish us good luck in the Champions League final. Yeah. Actually, well, listen, I want you guys to win. I mean, if we lose this final and City win their first ever Champions League, it's game over. We've got in the Champions League, but that's about it. I mean, Liverpool have somehow managed to have the exact same season that we've had. Liverpool have had just as good a season as us, and we've been in a semi-final. No, yeah, we've been in a semi-final and a final this season, and yet we come away with nothing. And this is the worry. The worry is that we become a bottle job club. This is the worry. But you know what? I'm gonna open up the floor, because I said we'd be having a chat after the game, and that's what we're gonna do. So if anyone wants to come and join, please do come and join and have your say. I'm sure you've got a lot to say. So come on. Roll up. Box has spoken. So if Owen wants to come on, he can. If anyone wants to come on, they can as well. T6 says, can't see these players for the manager with shocking decision through 90 minutes. No change, no reaction to tackle information switched from Emery. Emery did him. I mean, to be fair, we haven't yet beaten Unai Emery. But that was the one thing I was worried about. When Unai Emery was the manager of the opponent in the final, with his sort of pedigree, that was always the thing I had in the back of my head. But in the end of the day, what can you do? Matthew says, people saying De Gea was poor on the pens. How many of their pens could have been actually saved? Pretty much all of their pens were good. Well, we actually do have Sayod FIFA on the channel, mate. How are you doing?
Actually, I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah, not as great, but appreciate you coming on, mate. And having your say. But obviously, yeah, I'll just go straight into it. What were your thoughts then? What do you think was the main reason United didn't get their hands on the trophy this evening?
Well, look. Besides Ole, I think the team that push all they can to reach to the final, and I really say you did good. At least you did good reaching to the final. But I think Ole made the worst decision. I mean, why sub Pogba? And what's the second with him? Scottish McTominay, I think.
Yeah, McTominay. Yeah.
Yeah, and sub from Matic, and why sub Matic? Like, the guy's, I think he's 30 or 32. Like, he's old. He can't do anything for you. Like, let him out.
Yeah.
Look, I think United has started from higher level, back from when Sir Alex was the coach. Like, he won the Premier League trophy, the Champions League twice. But I don't think Ole got the things that he actually doing the right thing. Like, why sub Greenwood? We see Rashford was the opening goal that helped you to win the European League. But now Ole made the worst decision. As you see in my comments, the worst decision of all Manchester games. That is the worst one.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I think most people were saying the same thing, especially on social media and stuff. For me, Rashford had an awful game today, and when I saw that he subbed off Greenwood instead of Rashford, I just couldn't believe it. I really, really couldn't. And then also just the fact as well that he didn't make subs early. I mean, there was no subs within like the about 105 minutes of that game. Dan James came on towards the end, and then we made subs for the penalties. But it's just too little, too late. You have to like freshen it up. But obviously the penalty shootout, people are blaming David De Gea. From your point of view, do you think that David De Gea could have done anything more? Obviously he missed the penalty, but do you think that he could have done anything more?
Well, to be honest, I don't think David De Gea is the problem. I don't think David De Gea is the problem. I think I blame Rashford first. De Gea, he's not good actually for the scoring, but he did his best to stop the penalty from Villarreal. As you can see, all the players from Manchester all scored goals except for De Gea. He actually kept the team all together until the second half. I don't know how to say it correctly, but the team has fallen from the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think De Gea, I don't blame De Gea. To be honest, I don't blame him. And I think all of you actually blame him. I don't blame him, actually. I blame the players. Don't blame the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper do all his best to keep to the penalty shootout. But don't blame him, actually. He did great. Blame Rashford. He's the one, actually, that... I don't want to say this, man. I was having a goosebumps. I thought, from this angle, I thought Rashford would have scored. But...
Yeah, I think for me, it's concerning really, because when I actually saw the lineup and I saw Rashford on that left hand side, I actually thought, okay, he might have a decent game today, because usually he's played on the right hand side, and when he's played on the right hand side, he's usually really poor. So I think on the left hand side, I was thinking, okay, Ollie's got that right, but even on the left hand side, he didn't offer anything really, and that's a worry for me, because even though Rashford's numbers have been very good this season, towards the back end of this season, he's been so poor. So that is definitely worrying. I'm going to read a few comments here. Rasmus, thanks for joining, says no tactics, no sub for 100 minutes, and then not taking De Gea off for Henderson despite his shit record with penalties. Get out of here, Ollie in the mud. So obviously a few more people going at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Box says low-key McTominay was like a prime box-to-box Messi. He actually did alright, McTominay. He actually did alright today. He really did. And Box says no urgency and no tactics. And I think most people most people echo those sentiments really. That Ollie was mainly at fault. The lack of a tactical nous, the lack of changing it, making those important changes that. Making those big decisions that you need to make in those situations, which is a little bit worrying, to be fair. But in terms of Ollie, and I'll ask this to you, obviously, as a a neutral, I guess. From your point of view, is Ollie the right man to take Manchester United forward? Obviously, this is a big setback for him. The fact he hasn't been able to win this trophy is a big setback. But do you think that along the line? Do you think he's still the right man for us to, win us trophies?
Well, look, coming from a Chelsea fan, to be honest with you, he's not 100% sure to be Manchester United boss.
I mean, this is the thing, is that I kind of like getting the kind of not opponent, but like the outsider point of view, because it obviously the fact I've kind of even though I'll say I'm unbiased, I've still probably got my kind of unconscious biases and stuff, but obviously someone from the outside will be able to kind of give a better view. And I think for me, even if we lost this game, and obviously we have, I was never going to turn on Ollie after this game. But to be fair, most of the games we've lost this season have been because of poor defending or errors from the players, and not necessarily Ollie. But in today's game, the game was completely mismanaged for me. It was completely mismanaged from start to finish. And in the end of the day, I'll probably say it, that a more experienced manager doesn't make those mistakes. But, I mean, listen, it's in the past now. The season is over. We've got the Euros as well coming up. So we just got to, just put this behind us and go next season. That's all we can do, really.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, look. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Jose Mourinho should have been the boss. Like I think he's the only manager that helped you winning the European League, and I think the APL and the FA Cup. I think he won the triple. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think he needs to go as a United boss. Yeah.
I mean,
and so continue.
Oh no, sorry, you go. Sorry.
Okay. And quick question: why actually starting Eric Bailly and Lindelof? Why are you starting them?
Well, unfortunately, Maguire got injured before the final. He got injured against Aston Villa, and that's obviously a big miss for us. And then we probably should have gone with Tuanzebe and Lindelof. To be honest, we should have gone with those two, but. You know, I think Ollie just went with Bailly because he has that experience. But yeah, it's that's kind of the thought process, I guess, behind starting them. But we didn't have too much of a choice.
But let me ask you something. Does Donny Van de Beek ever played?
Not really.
No, he's work experience.
Like, he was actually good he was good at Ajax, but when you buy him, I think for 40 mil, like what do you do? Actually, you put him on the bench. Like he was the best player in Ajax, and you put him for the bench. Like if I was Oli, like I hate to say this, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if I was Oli, I would actually use Pogba and Donny Van de Beek as center defensive midfielders, and Bruno as a cam, and I think Greenwood and Rashford and Cavani striker. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that'd be too bad. To be fair, I don't think that'd be too bad. I think the thing is with Van der Beek is I think there's definitely, there is definitely like some talent there, but I just think this season, whenever we've given him an opportunity, to be fair to Solskjaer, he hasn't really set the world alight. But I still think there's talent in there, and obviously we'll see that at the Euros. I'm sure he'll have a blinder of the Euros, basically. But Owen, we've got you in, Owen. What were your thoughts? Obviously, you're going to be dejected. But let me know your thoughts on the game then.
To be honest. It was one of those things where I was going with it. I thought it was written in the stars right up until De Gea's penalty. My sort of thing for penalties is I never watched them, so I didn't see any of the penalties. I sort of had my head under the desk and I just had the commentary in my ears.
Right.
And I heard the thud of the gloves, and yeah, that's when I sort of got up and kicked my hat in frustration, which I guess was, quite. I'm not sure I can talk to you at the moment. No.
Oh.
In all seriousness, all I'm going to say, I know you're going to try and shut me down, but Conte and Zidane have become available tonight. That's all I'm going to say on the matter.
What, Varane or Zidane?
No, Zidane and Conte are available tonight.
But okay, obviously you're talking about other managers. You're talking about potentially sacking Ollie or whatever. But so okay, I'll ask you straight. Do you believe that Ollie should be at the club after this result?
I think Ollie should be at the club as one of those people who they sit in the stands and sort of wave a United flag and a bit of ambassador. He should be an ambassador.
Right. So you would sack him then? You would sack him?
I wouldn't sack him. I'd just gently relieve him of his duties.
Okay. So that's... It's the exact same thing. It's exactly. I don't know what
I have seen a comment from Matthew saying how bad the ref was. I don't want to say it's not an excuse, but the ref was awful. The ref was awful today. And yeah, I just think that I can't help but feeling how if this was the Champions League, I think I would be completely gutted. I think I wouldn't even be able to speak right now. But because the Europa League, it's sort of the one saving grace is that it's not the be all and end all of football, the Europa League. Even though we needed to win it, it's like, I don't know. I think Henderson might have saved one or two of the penalties. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I mean that you shouldn't have said that, to be honest. But anyway,
all I would say is today I thought Scott McTominay deserves a round of applause. An absolutely superb performance from him.
Who?
Oh, McTominay.
Scott McTominay, yeah. On a night where people said he couldn't do it, he did it. He did it for the badge.
Well, clearly we lost.
But he scored. Oh no, he didn't take a pen, did he?
No, he got taken off.
Got taken out, my man.
Oh.
Exactly.
I don't really know what to think right now, to be honest. I mean, Domino's closed early as well, so I couldn't even have that. So I have to stick with McDonald's instead. And yeah, I mean, I think the start of next season's become a lot more important to start now. If we start badly, he's gone. He's gone. The fans will turn on him. I haven't been on social media, but I'm presuming that fans who were Ollie in before this game are suddenly Ollie out.
There are some, yeah. There are definitely some.
But I think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, do what you think's right. Resign tonight or stay on. But whatever you do from now until the end of the world will be on your shoulders.
Yeah. Listen, I agree. But, I mean, I want to come back to you, Side FIFA. I want to ask you, in terms of Manchester United and your view, do you think next season we have what it takes to challenge for the Premier League?
Us, Chelsea, or Manchester United?
Us, Man United.
Oh, Man United. I think I would do two things, I think. Number one, I think I would sell Eric Bailly and Lindelof, because those two are out.
Gabriel Lindelof is rubbish.
Yes, I think I sell those two because I think they stayed long enough and they never bring anything to the club. Varane, I don't think I should bring Varane because it's too expensive. I think 70 or 80 mil. I would go for Pau Torres from Villarreal. He's the cheapest one. I think he's worth 40 million. I should buy him. And take some time and use some of the players from England. I think Ben White. Yes, Ben White from Brighton. That's my defense. Both young, no hard defense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, and I think we do have to be kind of wary about how we spend our money. We have to be intelligent about it, and we can't just throw loads and loads of money at players that might be expensive but we don't actually need. We have to be intelligent about it. G's joins as well. Thank you for joining, G. Breeze. He says garbage. Of course, he's going to be like all of us, dejected. He says literally Wan-Bissaka and Cavani. Man of the match, yeah. I think really there's not many candidates to pick from, really. There's not many candidates to pick from. And he also says Ollie will not last this game in-game management. I totally agree. The way that game was mismanaged was very worrying. I'm going to be honest. And I think one of the things that kind of frustrates me is that I've backed Ollie, and when people say that he can't manage games and stuff, when people say that he's got no tactics, I always say actually we do have a style of play and we do have tactics, but this game has not helped his cause. That's what I'm going to say. This game has definitely not helped his cause.
It was a big moment. It was a big moment for him, and he's fluffed it. Unfortunately, it was a big moment. I think this could have been a turning point, but now it could be a turning point the other way. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I mean,
dare I say a crossroads.
Rashford's come out and been really kind of all fired up, saying, I promise the fans we won't give up. Next season we'll come with more desire and hunger and all that stuff.
He could have been fired up during the game, could he?
Yeah, that would have been better, to be fair. That would have been better. But I'm going to wrap up very shortly, but Owen, you get the last word on this one. I asked Syed the same question. I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you think Man United have enough Well, not right now, but do you think Man United will challenge for the Premier League this next season under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Yes or no?
I predicted them to win it next year.
So you think we're going to win the title next year?
Well, I'm not saying whether we will. I predicted before this game that we'll win the league next year because I just had a feeling. And after this game, I'm just going to stick. I may as well stick with the prediction, but I'm obviously not that confident. But I'm just going to stick with it. So yes is what I'm going to say.
There you go. That's the final word. I guess that's uplifting for the fans out there.
I love it.
Right, we're just gonna meet you. Thanks very much. Thanks for coming on, Sard. By the way, really appreciate it. Really appreciate your views. Really appreciate your thoughts. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it as always. And I'll unmute Owen for his to say goodbye to him. But Owen, thanks for joining as well. Appreciate it. Thanks everyone for watching as well. But yeah, Owen, thanks for joining.
That's all right.
Thanks.
Cheers for that.
Good luck.
Thanks, Sard.
Good luck.
Good luck in the final, mate.
Owen. Good luck, Owen.
Beat City for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck in the Champions League final.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good luck, mate. Good luck.
luck.
Please do beat that bold fraud.
Come on, Chelsea.
I can't say that.
Come on, Chelsea. Well, it's all we've got. It's all we've got left. After tonight, it's all we've got left. It's all we've got left.
Don't worry. 3-0 against City.
I love
3-0.
that. I love that confidence. Boxers, we need Kane, Sancho, and Grealish, Varane, Botman, Rice, Basuma, Heating, and Ings. So
Oh, it's new
basically the whole,
was it?
yeah, the whole Premier League. And Rich is joining us. Thanks for joining us as well. So what was that shit? What was that shit, Rich? And make sure you check out his channel. He'll be talking about that shit.
Yeah, I'll be on
channel.
Rich's. I'm on Rich's channel now, actually. I'll go on now.
Okay, well, on that in that case, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, guys. Really do appreciate it. The season has ended. We finished second. We've got Champions League. No trophy to show for it. We'll be doing a proper season review a bit later. But right now, we've just got to lick our wounds and go again. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a bit.